Great.
Yeah, I pressed the button, so we are live.
Okay, cool.
Um,
Who's up first?
I guess
Lori.
I'm first on the list, so I'm gonna start. So there's been lots of old issues being marked fixed. There is at least um, two in my section. One of them is the safe markup remove every safe markup set call. It's fixed now, so there is no safe markup set being called at all.
Mm-hmm.
There's still some in core from that last little patch of or thing of like showing that there's a couple still left over, but I think they're not part of the critical, so it doesn't matter or something. But I'm
But
sure they'll try to remove them. The
the
critical's
patch
done.
on the one removing the safe markup set method is passing, I think.
Oh,
So there shouldn't be any left.
the pull from head this morning changed.
So I guess there is not much to discuss. The other one is the big one, which is the field markup, which has been worked by many people. It's also fixed now. Okay, so let's move to the issues that are stuck or need attention. The first one is new issue that I saw today, and I was about to freak out when I saw it first. And yeah, it's how I'm describing it. It's just crazy, and it's like about remove as much of the safe markup classes methods as possible. And yeah, it's really sad because everyone has been working hard on making safe markup as good as possible, but as we can see, because there is a lot of problems, a lot of issues that has been created because of the safe markup is causing problems inside core. And we have all the people who have created the safe markup thing, and even they can't figure out how to fix those. So it's going to be really bad for the people that are not as familiar as those people for the safe markup. So it's really bad design. So it has to be removed. And it's going to be a huge meta issue to be worked on because yeah, and it's a critical.
Oh, that one's critical too. Huh.
Yeah, it's critical. And yeah, just I don't think there is any next steps that are clear for that issue. Just I guess the same thing as what we talked in the safe markup call is that if anyone has free time, maybe you can apply for the Drupal Association Drupal 8 Accelerate grant because there is still funds available. So if you have time, you can apply for that and work on those. Okay, so the next one that is maybe a little bit more actionable is oh, Morten is asking for a link to come.
Okay, I can give him.
Okay, I sent him a link. Can you still hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, good. So the first one that is a little bit more actionable is they add another responsive table solution that doesn't hide content. I don't know if we even have to talk about this because I wanted to talk about this with Louis because I talked about this with him when I was in Switzerland, but I don't remember what the next steps we defined there were. So I guess I'm gonna just write in Louis on IRC. I don't know because it needs something from him, but I don't remember what it was.
Okay.
Then the other one is the one that got unblocked by the other issue, which was the wall view fields being escaped, and that is one of the remaining team function conversions left. Right now, what it needs one of the things it needs is the someone to explain the why we can allow the performance regression that is happening on the issue. So maybe someone who is good in writing that kind of stuff could write that down on the issue. I can work on making the patch actually work, but if someone could write that down, because that is the biggest concern on the issue.
So I think one of the other things we need to do with that is just redo the performance profiling, because I mean, there's notes in there that it might have changed.
Yeah, it definitely needs to be redone. It was brought up in a call for the safe markup stuff that we could probably get it in now, so might as well do the performance thing again to see kind of where it's at the moment. So that,
yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, team functions are deprecated, and even if the performance is bad, we still should be able to convert them into something that is not deprecated. And right now the solution is template. So does anyone want to do that?
probably jump on that one, but I have to kind of look at the safe markup stuff a little bit first. So
yeah,
I'm
that
not
is
sure
not
if I'll
like
jump on it right away.
that is definitely not the priority one. The priority one is the safe markup. But
if I have some time, I can do the profiling again, but no guarantees.
I guess there is no working patch right now, but we should just.
Well, that's right.
There is decent profiling information that should be trustworthy. So I think we just have to write down that that we should still consider accepting this patch, even though it's causing some performance regression because of the TX.
Well, I think regardless, like once we get a working patch, I think we need to profile it no matter what, just to see, because it can be used so much. And then like we can still, decide then. But yeah, I think we still need to do the profiling no matter what.
Okay. I can write as a next step that I try to. Yeah, I will try to fix the thing.
Okay.
Create working patch. Okay. And I guess that is mine. I don't have much to say after the safe markup stuff.
Okay.
Emma is next.
Yeah, Emma's next. She's on a plane, or going to be on a plane soon. She says that the branding block issue is RTBC, and that it will open up a lot of Bartik postponed issues, and that she is trying to move country currently, so she's probably not working on too much. And then, yeah, and as far as stuck or needs attention, she mentioned the Bartik font sizes to maybe replace M with Rem. And there's an issue there. Sensible list defaults, and then a view CSS cleanup. So, I don't know, yeah. That's Emma.
If you're not following those ones, follow them.
What's that?
If you're not following those issues, you could follow those ones, just to keep track on them. Yeah. That's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't think there's much to discuss.
No. So for myself, I want to give a shout out to Lori because the specific pre-process issue is in.
Yay!
So that's pretty awesome. That was really like 4 or 5 year old issue at least, and Lori was very persistent and got it in. So thank you, Lori.
Yeah.
And the safe markup stuff is done. As far as I know, there's no calls to safe markup set in core. Yes, thank you, anonymous lagger. And yeah, so as far as things that are stuck, I'm going to be a broken record and say that the libraries override is still pretty important, I think, for being able to move the .theme, .css stuff into Classy. And like Lori already mentioned, there's that views fields issue. There's also the views field singular that I just kind of re-rolled, and it's failing some tests. There's some escaping issues there. And then I just put a link to there's a follow-up issue from that specific preprocess one that Laurie and his team of kittens can fix, perhaps, now that he's back.
Yeah, I was thinking of maybe postponing the add libraries override. I don't know, what do you think about that?
Why would postpone on what?
Just for 8.1, because it's something that is very simple to get in later phase, so we shouldn't waste effort on that issue.
But if we get it in, then it unblocks the moving the theme.css, which we're trying to do before RC, right?
Yeah, that has to happen before RC.
Move user.theme.css. Why that couldn't be done before?
We can't change any CSS after RC.
Yeah, but I mean,
So-
why it's blocking anything?
Well, because right now, like if you have a library that's attached to, let's say, some kind of a block or something, when you use like the style sheets remove and then just trying to add your own, it messes up the ordering and things like that. So the library's override is so that when the library is attached to, let's say, a block, then it can actually just swap the CSS so that it maintains the same spot in the source order and all of that stuff.
So that was something that couldn't be done in the library's alter.
It can. I think it can be, but that's obviously not good DX. We could maybe do that, because I'm pretty sure that's all this patch is doing, is just providing like kind of a UI for an alter, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, that's what it's doing, and that's why we should maybe make the alter there and add to do inside that. Okay.
Yeah, that's an option too. Yeah.
Because it shouldn't be postponing anything, because it's just a wrapper inside the YAML file.
Yeah.
And for that reason, even though it's bad TX, I think.
Yeah, I think at the time it was just more like we didn't want to have all these examples kind of all over core of like, oh, here's how you do it. But yeah, it's the part that we are at now, I agree that makes sense. So we can just, for the moving the theme.css, we can just do the hook, whatever it is, hook libraries alter directly.
So what about postponing the issue, or?
I don't know. I'm still not sure it actually needs to be postponed. If you want to move it to 8.1, maybe, but then it's kind of annoying, because then when you move it to 8.1, then the patches will fail and stuff, because 8.1 is like old.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It'd be nice if we could still work on it, you know?
How much is left to get it in? Like what's not working right now?
I think it's pretty close. I think it needs some more testing, and yeah, it needs some more like automated tests, and
yeah, the latest patch is failing.
yeah, the latest patch is failing, and then there's one other kind of exception that could be thrown.
We could also try to ping the person if he or her wants to, he or she wants to keep working on the issue.
Yep. Yep.
Just, you know, a friendly reminder that.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, because people usually like that when they are being needed. Yeah.
But they haven't been on IRC in a month, so we'll see.
Yeah, but we can tweet
All right,
it.
so that's all I have for me. So,
Yeah.
well, I think you're next.
Cool. So I have we kind of moving forward on getting rid of as much safe markup classes methods as possible. The reason that we're kind of moving towards that one is the big thing is when we turned on autoescape, original plan, and we even got a green patch, but it was kind of rejected for some other reasons, was to use basically an object to represent the safeness of something, and which is what Twig does. We just had like a smaller wrapper of what Twig underscore markup class does, and so this safe string was an alternative that was kind of more performant at the time, but it also just left the strings be strings, which was helpful in certain cases where these, for example, translated strings would be returning objects, and then they'd be set as keys in PHP, and PHP doesn't accept objects as keys. So you'd have to cast them, and that's how we kind of made the patch green, is we had to cast all the keys. So the goal of that one is to end up closer to what we originally had, and also there's a lot of another one that's, I don't know if I put it in here. I think I might be hanging off of this one anyways. We have a lot of check plain happening right now in core that doesn't need to be there anymore because Twig does it. So we're check planing it, and then we're passing it as safe to Twig, which just could have auto-escaped it anyways, but it's already been escaped. And there's a lot of that still happening, and so Alex has put together some patches around removing check plain from everything, which is kind of nice. And he even went as far as we made a new object helper called HTML escape, which is doing what safe markup check plain does. And that's in core. And what we're trying to do with check plain is basically safe markup check plain and the function check plain itself, check underscore plain, the one that was in D7, is to remove it altogether and just replace it with that helper utility function HTML escape. That way, when you're actually intending to escape something like manually, you can use that helper function that actually makes sense. HTML escape is what it's doing. Check plain is a useless function name in my opinion. So it doesn't tell you whether or not it's escaping or not. It just tells you that it's checking something, which it doesn't do that at all. And then safe markup check plain does an extra step of adding it to that giant list. And so we're escaping it, and then we're adding it to that giant list. And that giant list is memory hog, and that's why we're trying to get rid of it. So everything that we're doing in safe markup to get rid of things that are related to safe markup are mostly getting either removed altogether because Twig does it for us, which is the big benefit, or converting it to safe string, which is what safe markup used to be. But anyways, safe string is the object method. Yeah, so it's kind of ending up full circle on back to the patch that we originally had, but we have fixed a lot of the other problems that we had to deal with there, and also it's more secure now. So because to make that that original issue go green, we had to kind of introduce security holes that were known, so that otherwise that patch would be I don't know, 2 megs or something. So we've cleaned up a lot of that stuff along the lines with safe markup. So yeah. Stucker needs attention. I made some bureaucracy issues.
No, boo.
Yeah. I'm just scared of. So that's the issue that I'm talking about, is removing check plain. I love this issue, but at the same time, if you just remove check plain, you introduce the double escaping issue where somebody's so it's check planing, and then it's going to Twig, and then Twig's like, it's not safe, so escape it again. It's awesome to remove it. It's hard to do the other one where you actually still have to mark it as safe. So because you're still passing it to Twig, because Twig's going to escape it anyways. So we actually, for that one, it's not really held up on bureaucracy issues per se. We split off a big chunk of it, like half of the patch, so divide and conquer type stuff. which was done in 123 on that issue. And that one's actually been committed, which is awesome. I still don't know how tokens work. Can anybody explain how you can get work tokens? Like how you can get tokens to actually work? I've turned it on and I tried using the token, but I have no idea how to use it.
What is the problem with the tokens?
How do you use it? Like if I want to use site name, for example, just out of curiosity, where would I put the site name token to get it to actually do something?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's tricky. Anyways, yeah, it's a module that I was like, oh, I have to turn the module on, then it'll work, and then I turned it on yesterday, and I couldn't get it to work. So I'm trying to see if tokens are being like double escaped.
But this is, are you talking about the token contrib module?
No, it's the one in core.
Okay.
There's supposedly a token module in core. I was like, oh, cool, it's in core. And I turned it on, and I was like, oh, it looks like it has a help page and has all the tokens that I would get from.
Yeah, the token module has been in core since forever, I think. At least in Drupal 7 it was. But it's only the replacing the tokens, not the UI or anything.
Okay. So do you have to turn something on, like a filter or something, to have the tokens be replaced?
You have to manually replace the tokens in there, I think.
Yeah. Oh.
So
okay.
It's not automatically turned on everywhere.
Okay. That seems to kind of gel with what was happening, so maybe I have to look into that one a little bit deeper to figure out what's going on. But yeah, I wanted to make sure that the token library, if it's pre-escaping it or sanitizing it, that it doesn't get double escaped.
Yeah.
But Alex mentioned that it's not a problem. I just wanted to confirm. And the delete one, which is the one that Mike was working on and was discussing last week, that one's on my radar to review it a little bit further. It's probably one of the more pressing security issues that we have, just because we said that Twig would make sure that you can't delete things, even though we can't delete the entire database from Twig at the moment. You can delete the nodes that you pass to the templates, which is what we want to stop. So, anyways, that's me. I don't know how to spell bureaucracy. It's bureaucratic.
Yeah, too much politics. Okay, I guess it's Mark on the.
Hello.
Hello.
So, I just want to take a brief moment. I know we already said it, but let's do a field default markup dance real quick. Everybody dance. All right?
Yay.
Do your dance moves. All right? Pretty happy about that. So
I don't even know what to whine about anymore.
Yeah. There was a couple follow-ups that popped up, but I think they're pretty much done. There's one that's RTBC, but I think the other one, didn't that add classes fix? Is that already committed?
I think so.
Yeah, the add class one is in. There's another, I think there's a documentation one that's RTBC, and then there's the UID one, which is RTBC.
UID! That thing was the biggest nightmare. Yeah, as Emma noted, the branding block thing is RTBC. I was looking at it, though, and I think we might need to update the change record and the beta approval thing. Both of those indicate that the page variables are still there, so this isn't disruptive. But my understanding is from the patch, when I look at it, it looks like we pulled those variables out from pre-process, right?
Yeah, because you moved them out of the installer stuff as well.
Right. And I think that should still be okay because template markup is free to change until RC1. So, and we have an upgrade path, so hopefully that will be okay. And local actions and tasks block. I mean, I'm hoping that we get the thumbs up. I'm a little bit nervous because they are somewhat disruptive. They'll, people will have to take notice of this and change their sites, or things will be broken. But
yeah, but that's also politics because if we want to start messing around, we can make it critical.
With what?
The local tasks. So I don't see any way it wouldn't get committed at all.
I'm hoping so. This is just my inner nervousness. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's only at 467 comments, I think, the last time I checked. Anyways, so I think probably...
close no fix on that.
So, okay, actual stuff that, like, that all those module theme.css issues needs help. Because if we don't get those in, we're going to be stuck with that CSS getting loaded automatically for everything forever. So I can try to put some attention on that. Then the last page variable conversion we have is titles. That one needs work. So I'd like to get that one in. I checked with Wim. It does not have a performance implication, so it's probably the lower priority thing. But for consistency, it'd be nice. And then I just wanted to, we've got this field template suggestions colliding. I don't really know what that's all about, but it's with fields, so I thought I'd make note of it. So we're getting really close on our list, though.
Yes, it's good. I'm just opening the issues.
Yeah.
So about the module theme CSS, what is the exact problem on the meta? Is there not enough patches, or is there some specific...
Need more patches and reviews.
Okay. I'm happy to provide reviews at least.
Yeah. Well, and I can like move files around, but I'm not sure I fully understand what needs to happen with this weight business. So
okay.
I could maybe make some initial patches, and then people can help figure out the weight stuff. I don't know, but
yeah, it might be something where if we can almost get a template issue that shows, okay, here's, you move the file and then you do this hook library alter thing, and then you're done. So yeah,
okay.
Maybe that's something I'll put on my list and try and get one or two patches up that we can use as examples.
Yeah, I'm great at copy paste, so that's like my.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite. Yeah.
So.
Cool.
So about the convert title page element into a block issue, there is no passing patch right now, I think.
No, I haven't dug into it yet to see what exactly is causing the failures. I know there was some discussion of like the prefix suffix thing being difficult, but I don't know if that's what's actually causing the problem. So.
Yeah.
That's
the other thing
title.
Yeah. The other thing I wonder, I don't know, I should look into that. I was thinking about this. Like, if this is converting the title in the page variable to a block, is it also doing the node title? Like, because in the node template, there's sometimes a page title as well, right?
No, it's not. There is no title field being printed in the node.
Nodes there is. You print out label in the node.
What?
Yeah. I normally strip out the title, because then I can actually use the notes title direct instead, and put it inside of the article where it should be.
Yeah, there's a label for when it's not an actual page, so when it's a teaser, it uses the label.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe that's fine. Maybe that's not a problem. I don't know. It just was a thing at the back of my head, so I babbled it. All right.
Cool.
Ta-da!
And Lewis says that he's been off core dev. I don't know if he's moving countries as well. And then he linked to an issue on the container inline to form inline. So follow that if you're interested in that.
Which country is he moving to?
England.
Yeah.
He's not in England right now?
He's
No.
a Swiss citizen.
Flight from Swiss to England.
Yeah, they are bad, these people.
Yeah.
Okay.
They are late
Right.
from Rivera.
So you're up, Morton.
All right. Yeah. First of all, my whining of 7 years is now done with the Divitus, which is very true.
Yeah, it's very awesome.
So that was strange.
Very strange. I hadn't been following it for a while, and then I saw that it was fixed, and I was like, what?
Yeah, I was so basically in my local gym, and I saw Larry pinging me, and I was like checking out my phone, and it was it pretty fucking wonders when you're bench pressing. I can say it's just like, fuck yeah, motherfuckers, we're done. I have been. So, yeah, this opens up for other things that I've been looking into, something around like other fields and how they have been printing out, and do we want to have, fields, blah 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 blah. But
What?
We lost Morton.
Yeah, we lost Martin.
did you lose me?
Yeah.
Oh, I can hear you now. Your picture's
okay.
but we can at least hear you. Oh, now we can see you. All right, you're good.
Okay, I'm good again. Yes. All right. No, it was mainly one of the ideas we discussed way back. Should
Somebody
use,
really
a
needs
figure
to
tag.
internet to Copenhagen. Like, they should really get some internet up there.
Let me see. Let me just
Where
try
are
to
you,
fill this.
Martin?
Okay, what's absurd here is I should have 120 line, but apparently that's not working. I do not know why. I'm gonna yell at somebody. Anyways, menu links. Larry fixed the test last week, so that.
Okay.
But I think if somebody want to look at it, I gave it some variable names when I created the original patch, and I do not know if those like the most appropriate or we should use some else.
I'll take a look at that one.
Came on.
If it looks good, I'll RTBC.
Sweet. Yeah. It's basically just removing the class names and adds in variables instead and put that stuff on the menu.
I had looked through it before. It looked generally good.
Yeah. So one thing I figured out while I was doing my last theme was that blocks still have IDs on them. Is there a reason for that?
Yes.
So there is a reason, or is it just because they're there?
There is a reason.
Okay. And that's
What is the reason?
It's for the Ajax.
for the what?
Ajax.
For Ajax or what?
Ajax.
So like big pipe stuff where it like loads in them blocks or what?
Yeah, I think it's for that, and I think also the quick edit thing uses that, and also the contextual links.
Okay. Okay.
Did someone just randomly pop into my mind from the ID? That's it. Did someone create an issue for adding the class for the block, which is like just general class for a block, which is from the same configuration or custom block entity? Because right now there is no class for that at all.
I don't know, but so let me see here. Besides that, we have the if you work on forms inputs right now in the templates, it's practically impossible. So if somebody have time to look at that, I did a little bit of like fiddling with them a couple of months ago, but it basically needs a kind of like forms is something we have not really worked on yet. So maybe this is time to work on that. A thing about the contextual links is that contextual links are still called up. Kind of have so we kind of have contextual links using a markup template, and it's not visible anywhere that it's using that. So you're basically breaking contextual links if you're overriding your regions, which is kind of like shitty theme experience. So those are things I want to look at later on. But I guess that I should help Mark right now with the with moving all the CSS, right? Isn't that?
I think that's.
I mean, these are like smaller things. That's just going to be an annoyance, and we could change that later on by adding in, a specific class into classy, whatever. If that was the case. So how many issues do we have left? Criticals?
Oh, criticals? I think it's 11 right now.
Are we back to 11? Okay.
Yeah, 10 or 11.
But there's a lot of them that are close, so those
There's
could
10.
get knocked down.
Well, and a lot of them are
There's
kind
10.
of like checklists. Make sure everything is, not a lot, but at least a few of them are just like, make sure we do everything.
Okay.
Right. I think we should be under the assumption this could drop. I mean, it could drop to RC at any time, basically. I mean, I think we have a little bit of time, but we shouldn't count on it. So
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
whatever we want in,
so basically,
now's the time.
yeah, okay, because
Really,
now that
really for reals this time.
yeah, now the fields are in, I'm like, it's. I feel very relaxed in my body. It is very strange. I've been so pissed off for so many years, and I've been.
Yeah.
I mean, So, Mark, I think I'm gonna just use the next week on helping you out with see how much of this CSS shit we can move.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And just focus on that, and then some of the other things, which up on the radar, we can figure out ways of like moving them around or doing stuff with them, or
Yeah. So which form thing was it? The form element template?
yeah. So it's the
what?
Something.
so a form input.
Form input?
Yeah, the form.
Like a text field kind of thing.
Yeah.
All using the same. So
They're all using the same template, so it's hard to change. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and it's just like I'm gonna find the issue for it. It was just a thing that we haven't really looked at and minimum length and like all.
Are there themed template suggestions for input
Yeah, I think there is.
for the different types of input?
There's a template for almost every one, isn't there? And then it just wraps them. Form element is the one that wraps them all.
Yeah, that one also the images. Yeah. Anyways, that's like smaller things. Let's get all the CSS we can move.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the priority.
And because
there's a CSS follow-up issue that needs some help for David, anyways. There's a CSS follow-up issue.
Which CSS for what?
For the error messages, there's a new thing that David and a few other people were working on for View List Builder, and it's an inline style it's an item list that's inline, but it had some CSS issues since it got in, so there's an issue for that.
Can you find the issue?
It's at the very bottom of the document in Other Joel.
Other Joel, you have a copy of yourself?
Yeah. Yep. It's the anonymous one. So the inline styles one, the inline item list, I'm going to call it, has issues in error, and then so it's a CSS issue, but it also affects lots of things. So it got split off of the major that was part of that critical there, the safe markup critical, and so it was easy to fix. David made a fix with like 2 lines of CSS, but it's gotten bigger, so it just needs some attention from people who know their CSS and also know what gets affected by item lists. Which is like
we have this one. It's like the form.
Elastic form.
It's prefix. What's it called? One of the last one that Kotzer created, or we created after my epic rage patch. That patch that started off with being 10 kilos and ended up being like a Cthulhu monster. Let me just see.
Oh, that's the form item one.
Is that the form item one? Yeah.
Form element?
Oh, Scott left.
Yeah, we have other things like.
Need more monitor space for this. So, are you in the document, Morten?
Yes.
Is that you typing the form.js one?
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one I put in. I was just
Okay.
like running through and see what else there was there.
Okay.
But we have another one here who should be ready to go. This is the. Which one is this? This is the remove classes from R, which just needs an. Oh shit. So the remove classes from template R, as in Rasmus, have been laying there for a while. Let me see how far away C is. The patch is green, so.
Which issue are we talking about now?
We're talking about 24.07.739. Let me just put it over in the chat. This one. It's like banana part 2.
Okay.
These this is the C templates. Oh yeah, this one, like the C template is like 3 months old. I can't remember what is that. Those cleaned out. so we don't have any like CSS floating around there.
Okay.
So when you're doing these, like for the region for one, for example, template preprocess region, the you're changing stuff to do with JavaScript so that there's a data attribute.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the
and
region
then,
thing is
And then you're also doing the you're also removing like region and region hyphen. Are those supposed to be also added to classy as well?
They.
Like those classes, are they being added back into classy, or are they just completely being removed?
Let me see. I'm pretty sure we kept them. It's been a while since I played with this one.
Okay, because it looks like the latest patch, or maybe I was reading the wrong thing. No, it looks like the latest patch is not adding those classes back anywhere.
Yeah, you're actually right. Okay. Let me. I'm just gonna take a look at the at it again.
Okay.
So yeah, what I'm doing here. Oh yeah, now I know it's a. Yeah. The problem with quick edit is like it used to use region-content to look for an element.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Actually, we should actually change that to JS dash, quick edit or something.
Okay.
Because what I did actually 3 months ago, I changed it over to use main role main, and then find entity element selector, and that's just as terrible because what if somebody changed that over to, or like remove the main tag because they don't want to have the main tag in the page because of something, because
Oh, so for this one, the classes are already in the classy one, and we're just kind of cleaning up behind ourselves, like in core. So we're removing things from core.
Is there a meta for these ones?
I think so. The metas would
there
be like
is
the
a meta.
classic.
It's Consensus Banana Phase 2.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on the issue too. There it says related issues, but it should be the parent issue. I'll change that now.
This one.
All right.
It's the meta. Yeah, so this is the cleanup of all of the templates.
So we've already moved and duplicated all these classes to classy. So we're going to clean up behind ourselves and removing the class.
Yeah. And actually, the real issue with this, and maybe that should be a follow-up issue instead, is change the identifier of quick edit. Because the problem is just a standard class, and that way we could actually just get it out the door.
Yeah, that sounds like it might be easier as a follow-up, so that we're not confusing the two.
Yeah, but then can we actually?
It's so frustrating that we can't make any changes to anything on the front end, basically, for 5 years after RC1.
What I'm seeing gonna happen quickly is that we're probably gonna have to do. We need to do a classy to do something like that, or we need to change that fucking policy and be like, well, major, because it's just. The biggest issue is like all of the things that we're finding when you're beginning to build themes.
Yeah.
The
problem is that Drupal 8 basically did not have a beta. We didn't really have a beta. We haven't had an upgrade path the entire. It's not.
Yeah. No. And that's like my main reason why I put out for fun yesterday. If somebody want to help me like convert my whole shit over. On my Drupal 6 side, it's not so much my Drupal 6 to Drupal 8, it's more keeping this shit alive between.
Yeah.
I have to take off in a minute, but the last thing that I checked on there was something that was RTBC. There's actually right now in core, if you go to any views form, so admin content, for example, you'll see there's double HTML tags. so they're nested within each other. So that was a bug I found, so I created a patch for that. So there's now only one form tag. So there's nested form tags, and there's now just one form tag. So somebody RTBC'd it, but I am not totally convinced that I didn't break something. I got to remove a Drupal, what's it called, Drupal render children call, which I was happy about, but I'm still, and it looks like it still worked, but I don't know if anybody knows views suggestions or knows what they do. Maybe checks that they still work.
Is it a link?
It's the last link on the whole thing.
All right.
What did the consensus, by the way, on moving files? Let me see here. I have one over here.
I think I gotta go too. This is.
Yeah. Oh shit! Yeah, it's 6 o'clock. Yeah, I have food in the oven for the daughter now, so she's parked in front of the TV.
Yeah. All right. Have a good week, everybody.
Yeah, I will
Yeah,
take a
you too.
look on the issue. I will.
Yes, but major win, by the way. I mean.
Thanks. Yeah, field.
All right. Talk to y'all later. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks. See you.